सतगुरु सरकार की जय, लाडली लाल की जय। Hello everyone, please come. So we're just going to settle and then start the satsang.
Keep them going on. When Didi comes here, we'll stop. So Padika, you bring it both. Keep the kirtan going on. Padika will come and then we'll stop and then we'll stream up the kirtan.
How much fights to the name?
Radhe. Radhe.
Sadhguru Sarkar ki Jai. Nagari Lal ki Jai.
Radhe everyone. Welcome to our Bhajan Satsang in honor of my late mother, Shakuntala Patel. Thank you all for coming. It's an honor for us today to have the inspiration and company of Dr. Bhageshwari Devi Ji, a senior pracharak of Sri Kripalu Maharaj. She is based here in Leicester, United Kingdom. She's made a special change to her schedule to be here today and to give us inspiration and give us true understanding as to, I guess, the closure that we all need, knowing that Mum is in her final resting place. Without further ado, Didi, I'll hand it over to you.
Hey, Almiri Sarkar ki jai, Srimad Satguru Sarkar ki jai. As I was coming here, I had to go through a bad accident which delayed me, and I was just reflecting that every day, yesterday itself, we had a program, and people had the M1 completely closed, bad accident, delays. And I was thinking that everything is on the move in this universe. This earth that we are sitting here very securely is moving. It's moving on its axis. We don't feel it. And not only that, it is moving around the sun as well. 2 moments, and we are so secure. We don't even feel it. And not only this earth, the sun is also moving. All the planets up there in this universe, they are all in the state of movement. And each of them is perfect in its movement, in its orbit, respective orbits, right? There are no accidents in space. But here, in our material world, there are accidents every day. This is an evidence of a divine power behind this whole setup. Just think about the weight of this earth. It must be weighing trillions and trillions of tons, isn't it? And what is the power that is moving it? There has to be something. So let us now connect to that power and understand our connection and necessity of this faith to be able to experience peace, not only here, but even when we depart from this world one day, because that is also an inevitable fact of life. So I'll start with a small little chant, five minutes, and then I'll proceed. I request you all to also join me in this chanting, because the power of divine name has been accepted by chanting or japa is a process that people from all over the world engage in. And not many people are aware of the fact that the divine name is a potentized word. It's non-different from that supreme, all-powerful personality. So when we chant this name, the faith that it is all-powerful helps us to be able to feel healthy, peaceful, both internally and outwardly. So let us begin this chant. And I know a lot of people are not used to chanting, but we do a lot of talking in the world, don't we? So we are used to talking, so why not take this divine name, which is a potentized word?
Can we just have everyone just shuffle them forward so we can make most use of the... Sorry.
Everybody, please come forward. Radhe, Radhe Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe, Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Govind, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Govind, Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Bihari Lal ki Jai. Srimad Satguru Sarkar ki Jai. What is the purpose of this life on earth? Why are we here? We came into this world. We didn't decide to come, did we? We've come here. And we have to one day leave without knowing when. A mystery. So there must be a purpose of coming into this world. We come empty-handed and we leave empty-handed from the material point of view. However, we do take something important with us, and that is our actions that we perform in this life, that karma. Now, before I discuss the purpose of life further, let us talk about the human form. We are all human beings, right? And what do we mean by human beings? It is the name of the body that we have, right? There are so many different forms of life you have seen in your own lifetime, right? And our ancient scriptures tell us that there are 8.4 million species. आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, some of you, 84 lakh. 8.4 million. The Vishnu Puran actually gives a breakdown. You won't believe it. It tells us that there are 900,000 forms of life within the ocean water. There are 2 million trees and plants. There is 1,100,000 insects and reptiles. 1 million different kinds of birds. And 3 million what you call quadrupeds. You know, those who walk on four. So 3 million of them and 400 different species of human beings. And this adds up to 8.4 million. Unbelievable. Everything is there in these ancient scriptures, and people are researching it to find out more and more all about creation. It's incredible what is there. So 8.4 million species. And just think, within each category, suppose you take mosquitoes, for example. How many mosquitoes must there be in this world? Probably billions or trillions, right? So within each category, you have so many. And how many human beings today on this earth? Roughly 8 billion, isn't it? So just imagine that we have crossed all these different forms of life and we have been blessed with a human form. Sri Maharaji, my spiritual master, says that if there is a hole in the ground which contains some water, say 1 foot deep, you will find 8 billion creatures within that small little space. And here we are human beings. Just we think, because we see so many people around, you just go down to Oxford Street and places like this, crowds and crowds, or if there is a football match, so many human beings. But it's very rare, very rare. We don't realize how fortunate we are to be human beings. We are coming to that. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshanabangura. Tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshana. 11 to 29 Bhagavad Puran tells us that to attain the human form is extremely rare, durlabh. I remember the example, Mahatma Buddha. You obviously have heard of him, Lord Buddha. He would give an example to his disciples to make them understand the rarity of the human form. He said, just think that this whole world is an ocean. Entire world, an ocean. Such a big ocean. And in this ocean, there lives a tortoise. And this tortoise is blind. Right? And this tortoise comes up to, on the surface of this ocean, there is a big log of wood, which has a hole in the center. It's floating on the top of the water. Now this blind tortoise, which lives at the bottom of the sea, it comes up to the surface of the ocean once in 100 years. once in 100 years it comes to the surface, what are the chances of this tortoise going through the hole in that log of wood? Just think about it. Where would the log of wood be at the time it comes up? The ocean is so huge. So it's mind boggling. If you think, what are the chances? You will say almost nil, right? The log on top, when it comes up and then it goes through that hole in the log. That's how rare this human form of life is, and we have it today. All the scriptures, the saints, they highly praise this human form. Durlabham manusham janma prarthyate tridashairapi narad puran namanusha shreshthataram. He kinchit Mahabharata is telling us there. Durlabham manusham janma. This human form is rare. Shankaracharya ji is also saying, Durlabham trayamevaitat daivanugrahakarakam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha sambhava. This is the human form is very rare, and all, as I said, the scriptures, tattva jnanantu labhyate. You can attain the supreme knowledge in human form. Now let us try to understand what is so special about this human form. If we seriously observe around us, there are lots of things, special things which animals have better than us, right? If somebody has beautiful eyes, oh, she's got beautiful eyes just like a deer. If someone has a beautiful voice, आप कहेंगे कोयल की तरह, like a nightingale. Comparison is to bird and animals, right? If somebody has a very graceful walk, you will say the walk is like a walk of the swan. Hans ki chaal hai, right? And think of this sandalwood tree. Natural fragrance, right? And we have to use external fragrance. If you were in India at this point, it's so humid. The moment you have a bath, you're again had a bath of you're sweating so much. So look at all these things that are in nature. We already walk about with a pride. So God thought, if I give all these things to human beings, then there will be no end. So let me give some of these best things to animals. Just look at a dog. How faithful a dog is. No matter the owner is old, feeble, poor, sick, no matter what the owner is, but the dog is faithful. And not only that, look at the capacity of dogs. That a dog is walking ahead and a smartly dressed man is following the dog. Why? Because the dog is going to find out where the thief went. Sense of smell. Educated person is walking behind the dog. The dog is leading the show. Our bodies are very complicated. So many parts, intricate parts in the human body that it's difficult for doctors even to find out where the disease and why and what. Animal bodies are relatively very simple. Human beings, they are smart. In so many ways, positive and negative, but animals are very simple. Suppose you try, you're going to teach a donkey how to steal. Can you do it? It'll take you years. But human beings, I'm not aware of all the crimes that are happening. I know only online crimes happen now as compared to past. I hear so many different names, what people do, I don't know. But yes, all the human beings. And And yet this human form has been so highly praised. What's so special about this human form? It's very important to know because we have it right now. So we can utilize it for that purpose which has been mentioned and it has been praised. A great saint named Bharti Hari said, Ahara nidra bhayamaitunancha samanyametat pashubhirnaranam jnanam mitesha madhiko vishesho jnanena hina pashubhirnaranam. We don't have much time, I won't go into details. He actually compared human beings to animal when it comes to eating, the sleeping, fear, and mating. Same things in animals and human beings, no difference. Of course, things are getting worse with us. But yes, he said that, and then he said, Jnana Mitesha. We have the gift of knowledge in the sense that we can acquire the right knowledge. Manushatana guna jnana nidhana. This capacity to be able to gain knowledge, we human beings have it. This is one of the reasons that has been given. But this reason is not good enough. Do you know why? Because in these verses, some of the verses that I quoted to you, it is said that even the celestial gods, आप लोग ने स्वर्ग सुना है ना? हम लोग बोलते हैं हमारे पूज्य पिताजी का स्वर्गवास हो गया, हम लोग बोलते हैं. तो स्वर्ग, the celestial abode, the celestial gods who live in that abode, they also desire to be human beings. Incredible. They want to be human beings. Why? As far as knowledge is concerned, their knowledge far outweighs us, because sometimes you watch movies over here as well, Mahabharata, etc., where they tell you that they have that knowledge of Agniban, Vayuban. These are special weapons that they'll go direct to the enemy without devastating anybody else. We don't have that knowledge. But the Devtas did, and human beings who practice spiritual, you could say, they attain these supernatural powers through the celestial gods. So when it comes to knowledge, they are far more knowledgeable than us. Then what is it? We have the privilege of performing fruit yielding actions. Our actions, whatever we do in this life, they bear fruit. Karma pradhana vishva rachi rakha jo jas karai so tas phal chakha swatantra kriyamane vai krito bhagavata vida. हमको कर्म करने का अधिकार. We have the privilege of performing action that produces results in no other form. So from human, with this privilege of performing fruit yielding action, that action which is going to produce result, we can either move down or up. That is, from human, we can end up in animal life, or from human, we can rise up to the divine and be forever freed from the cycle of birth and death and all suffering. Only we can do it. Only in human life. Only in human life. This is a very important fact to remember, so that we are cautious about our karma. You see, this doctrine of karma, it forms the base of what you call Hinduism, but it's actually Sanatan Dharma, Jainism and Buddhism And many other religions, they accept this doctrine of karma. What you sow, you reap. You heard about that? Jo karenge so bharenge. So this doctrine of karma, even those who do not have any belief, they also accept this doctrine of karma. Now, more and more people in the world have started accepting karma as a, what you call, understanding of what the world is about. He sees so many things here. Some children are born blind, some are born unhealthy, some people are born with a silver spoon in the mouth. All these things that we see in the world. The answer is this karma, this doctrine of karma. This is not our first life. Where we are at present is a sum total of what we have done in the past. And what we will do now will determine our future. So we are both products of the past, and we are also producers of the future. Every moment in this life, remember, every moment we are shaping our future. We love to go to astrologers and pundits and everything. We want to know the future, right? So if we want to know the future, we just look at our present. What are we doing? And that will be a projection of what the future is going to be about. So we have been given this privilege of performing fruit yielding action only in one life. You see, even animals go through suffering. In the forests, a thirsty deer bends down to drink water. It's furtively looking around to make sure there's no wild animal nearby. But all of a sudden, the lion has been watching, waiting. It's been hungry. And that's the end of the poor deer. They sleep hungry, they are thirsty, wandering around over there in the forest. So there is suffering in other forms of life as well. But it is only in human life that we can get out permanently from this cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janane jatare shayanam. So we've just very briefly, you see, the more we realize the rarity of this human life, it's enough for us to fulfill the purpose of why we are here. We will be halfway to the goal just realizing how important this human life is. Remember that. We forget. We are just busy. Everybody is so busy in their daily routine. कभी कभी तो कहते हैं ना, आप आ जाइए जरा, थोड़ा सा क्या बताएं, इतने बिजी है, मरने की फुर्सत नहीं है. So that's how busy we are. So it's very important to constantly revise that I am fortunate. बड़े भाग्य मानुष्य तन पावा, सुर दुर्लभ सद्ग्रंथ निगावा. Now let's come back to the purpose of life. What do we want? Now, the few people that are sitting over here, obviously, everybody's got different aims in life, plans in life, isn't it? So if somebody were to write down, 50, 80 people here, if you were to take into account everybody in this world, a person would keep writing. There would be no end. I want this, I want that. Sometimes we keep changing. Sometimes we have short-lived goals. Sometimes we have long-term goals in life. However, if you ask a saint, a philosopher, he will tell you that there are no 10, 20, 100 goals. There is only one goal. All of us, we have only one purpose, one goal, one aim in life. Sukham me bhuyad, dukham me mahabhut. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya sankalpa iha karmani. 7:42 Bhagavad Puran. Two things have been mentioned, but then it can merge into one. It says, what do we want? We want to be eternally free of all suffering, and at the same time, we want to experience happiness, right? हमको सुख मिले, दुख न मिले, बस, full stop. Our whole life, entire life revolves around this goal. To be free of all kinds of suffering and to experience happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I do not want any pain. I don't want suffering. Agree to that? No matter what we do, we want to maximize pleasure. We want to minimize pain. So maximize pleasure, tastier food. Then I want to have the latest gadgets. I want to have bigger houses. That my neighbor has got a lovely swimming pool. I don't have it. Next time I buy, I want to have the swimming pool over there. And we want flashy cars and we want the latest. The designer, there's no end to this list. Why? Because this is going to maximize our pleasure. That's what we think. But it goes without saying that each and every one of us wants happiness, right? Now, all this list, the small little list I just gave, we do not want these things, truly speaking. What do we want? We want happiness. And we believe that these things will give us happiness. My son, my father, my friend, my holiday, my this, that, and the other. The ultimate goal behind that is happiness. These are all care of. Once you believe, if I do this, if I get this, if I go there, I'll be happy. So what is the main aim? Happiness, isn't it? The moment we feel this person is not going to make me happy, about turn, right? So the main thing is happiness. It's all about happiness. Even Aristotle, some of you must have heard about him, one of the renowned Greek philosophers, he said, we desire happiness for itself, not for anything else. Whereas we desire wealth, name, fame, honor, because we believe that we will attain happiness through that. So as I said, it's all care of. Anything that you want, the ultimate purpose is happiness, right? Now let me ask you another question. Everything that we have done or are doing or will do is for the sake of happiness, and one small addition, our own happiness. Maybe some other time we'll discuss this. I'm doing it for you, I'm doing it for you. We say that, but ultimately it comes to ourselves. We analyze it, we will know this. Anyway, so whatever we do is for the sake of happiness. We have got answers for other things. Why do you want a big house? Because it gives me pleasure. Why do you want this car? It'll make me happy. Why do you want to go out for lunch? Why do you want to go for this holiday? Happiness, right? Why do you want happiness? Question. I've asked many people this question. I don't get any satisfactory answer. It's all about, I want happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Nobody wants pain. Look, we want something different every time. Even food, you get fed up. Same food every day, same food every day. We want to change clothes, whatever it may be. So why not have a change from happiness? Start desiring to be miserable. I've had enough of this desire of happiness. I'm fed up. From today onwards, I'm going to start desiring to be miserable. Can you do it? You may try for millions of lifetimes, but you will not be able to come to this desire. I want pain, I want suffering, I want to be miserable. So, why do we desire happiness? That question remains. Everyone wants happiness. Just imagine this huge world. Everyone, not only us, even animals, birds, they all want happiness. Why? There has to be a reason. I mean, if everybody desires happiness, there has to be some kind of reason behind this. It cannot be that everybody has one goal without any reason. There has to be a reason. We desired happiness. Do you know when we desired it? Not today. From the moment we stepped into this world, we demanded happiness. We demanded. The moment we were born, demanded. A child doesn't even speak. वो तो माँ को भी नहीं पहचानता, doesn't recognize its own mother. How can it demand happiness? It cannot speak. What does the child do the moment it is born? The natural thing for a child is it cries, right? Within the womb, the kind of pain, suffering it experiences, please take me out. I want to get out from here. That cramped space. When it comes out, the pain it goes through, coming out, it cries. I came out because I wanted to experience happiness. And what is this? The very first chapter when I came out was pain, cry. The child cries. So that cry is an indirect asking for happiness. I do not want pain. I want happiness. So our first chapter of entrance into this world began with a cry, and 99% living in this world will leave this world. Throughout our lives, this cry keeps going on from time to time. And most people leave crying because they haven't realized their goal or even known anything about it. So, why do we desire happiness? Listen attentively. We desire happiness. All of us desire happiness without anybody teaching us. Did anybody tell you? My son, you must desire happiness in life when you grow up. Did you read about it anywhere? No. Nobody taught us. We didn't read about it. And yet the desire is there. We were taught other things. Don't lie, don't steal, don't hurt. All these things parents teach their children. But which parent taught the child, you must desire only happiness? No parent. The answer to this question, I would say it's not $1 million question, but it is the question because our whole life revolves around this. We desire happiness because we desire God. Now, some of you are thinking, what kind of answer is this? I'm an atheist. And you're saying that I desire happiness because I desire God? This world is full of atheists, isn't it? That's what they say. But the reality is that no one can be an atheist even if he tries for 1,000,000 lifetimes. No one can be an atheist. Now, You will naturally say, what do you mean by that? So I want you to listen with an open mind. Things that we are not aware of, we have to take support from those profound ancient scriptures which give us the clues of what we are here about. What did I mean when I said no one is an atheist? Let's move step by step. I said we desire happiness because we desire God. Who is God? Let's find out from the scriptures, because we can't ask each other. Nobody knows. It's like the blind leading the blind. The scriptures are telling us that Supreme Being, He is Anando Brahmete Vijanat Anandat Deva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anandena Jatani Jivanti. This is mantra number 36 of the Taittiriya Upanishad. Anandam Brahmano Vidvan. Again, the Taittiriya Upanishad tells us 2:4, 2:9, same verse. Ananda Mayo Bhyasat. Vedanta 1:13 is telling us that. Ananda Majaha Datidir Gatapam Kevalanubhavananda Swarupa Ananda Matra Mavikalpa. I'm just quoting a handful of verses. These were from the Bhagavad. You've got thousands of mantras and verses telling us that Supreme Being. The definition is He is bliss. Satchidananda, Anand. You heard of the word Anand? Anand means bliss. And the common term for bliss in this world is happiness. So He, that Supreme Being, is bliss, right? Now let us come to ourselves. Who are we? The true I, the I is an eternal entity. When a person leaves the world, we talk about that as death. But truly speaking, there is no such thing as death. It's only a comma in life. What we give up is this external, physical, material body. The soul is an eternal entity. This is the wonderful philosophy of the Gita. The first teaching of Sri Krishna to Arjuna was the difference. He taught him the difference between what this physical body is and what that real self is. The physical body is with us. When a person leaves the world, the physical body is right there, isn't it? But the people who are close to that person, they naturally feel the pain of the departure of that person, isn't it? But why? That body is right here, isn't it? We are actually feeling the loss of that which left. Something left, right? We are not aware of it. Science has not been able to identify it. They tried their level best with their great instruments, etc. But no. Why? Because that which left is not a material thing. If it was material, science would have caught hold of it. That is a divine entity. We are all divine souls. Whenever I give a talk in English, I begin with this, divine souls. That is our true self. So this entity, that spark of life you call a soul or Atma, this is actually speaking Mamaivansho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. 15th chapter, 7th verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna says to Arjun, all the souls are eternal parts of me, Arjun. They're all parts of that divine. Anand Ansho Nana Vyapadeshat 2342 Vedanta Sutra. Some of you must have had an education in Christianity. I went through it. Yeah, the soul is immortal, spirit's free. We are not matter. This is not what we are. This is only a quote, as Sri Krishna says. So we are parts of that Supreme Being who is Anand. We are children of bliss. He is bliss and we are children of bliss. That is our true self. We are parts of Sachidanand. So we are children. He doesn't Sri Krishna says that everybody is my child. Amritasya vai putra. So we are children of the Supreme Being. We are parts of Him. Now let's come to the important point. Why do we desire happiness? It is a law of attraction, that a part will always be attracted to its source. Let me give you some examples in the material world. You have a very tiny little river, Thames, main river of England. If you compare it to the Ganges, it's very small, right? So anyway, no matter which river it is, no matter which part of the world it comes from, all the rivers go speedily into the sea. They are parts of the sea. The original source of that river is the sea. Do you know how water vapor rises in the form of clouds? Just look at the miracle. Sea water is salty. The clouds, they contain sweet water. So clouds form and it rains, and where it rains excessively, sometimes there's a glacier, whatever it is, it becomes a river, and that river, all the rivers flow back to its source, the sea. Suppose you pick up a lump of earth from the ground, you're holding that lump, right? Now just let it go. Where will it go? Down to the earth. It's a part of the earth. Did you use any force to send it down to the earth? Not at all. You just let go. You must be knowing that Newton discovered this law of gravity when the apple fell on his head. So that lump of earth, it naturally goes back to the earth. This attraction. In the same way, or you take a fire, look at that. That flame is rising upwards, right? It may be a small little candle or it may be a big bonfire. The flame will go upwards. Why? It's a part of the sun. Similarly, every part, we are parts of that Supreme Being who is bliss. And therefore, we all desire bliss because we are parts. We desire to attain that bliss. Happiness, you call it bliss. So we are not aware of this fact that the reason why we desire bliss, because we are parts of bliss, we are unaware of that, but all we know is, I want to be happy. So this desire for happiness is our nature, inborn nature. And this inborn nature is connected to the Supreme Being we are parts of. We are all looking for happiness, desperately running around. What should I do? Where should I go? I want to change this country. Many of you have come from India. Yeah, prospects are better here in the UK. So whatever we do, it's for the sake of happiness, right? So that happiness we desire has got a connection over there. How many people know that? We all know. I want to be happy by hook or by crook. By hook or by crook, what should I do? We want to be happy, right? And everybody's got different kinds of decisions about what happiness, from where it'll come. Young people, they think differently. Elder people, they think differently. So, nevertheless, everybody wants to be happy. So that desire for happiness is our nature. Remember that it's our nature. Nobody taught us. It's there within us. And it is connected to the Supreme Being. Now let's come to the final point. Listen to the definition of what happiness. We want happiness, but we are not able to think why till today we have achieved so much. There are so many people who look at you and think, oh, how lucky, such a big house, such this, that, and the other. They think that way. But why is it that nothing has really fully satisfied? We are still running, thinking, I should do this, I should get this, what should I do? So you will know yourself when you listen to what the definition of happiness is, true happiness. Yovai bhuma tat sukham nalpe sukham asti. Chandogya Upanishad 7:23, one number mantra. True happiness is that which is everlasting. जो सदा रहे वो वास्तविक सुख है. That is true happiness. And true happiness is that which is unlimited. Two main things. Because there is added to it, it's ever increasing. But let's just take these two main points about the definition of happiness. And ask yourself, do you want temporary happiness or you want permanent? You don't have to think, of course, I want to be happy all the time. Permanent. The advertisers give you a lot of promises. Come here for a holiday, use this perfume and you'll be happy, you'll be in heaven, you'll be happy forever. They are actually playing on our desire for happiness with all these, what you call, suggestions. But everlasting happiness is what we desire, and what we desire is unlimited. That's why we are not satisfied with limits. लखपति कहता है करोड़पति बनो, करोड़पति कहता है अरबपति बनो, एक मिनिस्टर कहता है मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर बनूं, चीफ मिनिस्टर कहता है मैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनूं. We want more and more. Limits don't satisfy us, isn't it? Everybody is in the same boat. Now, everything in this material world where we are living in, it's temporary. Whatever we achieve, whatever we have, is temporary. Every experience of happiness has to be temporary. And it follows the law of diminishing returns. See, thinking people will analyze this. The first day I bought a new car, I thought no end of myself. I went around taking my car and I talked about it to my friends. Look, this is the car. I have one, a Rolls Royce, whatever you bought. And then the next thing you see, I don't know anything about cars. Is Bentley better than Rolls Royce? I don't know. Anyway, suppose you see one of your own close friends. They've got a better car with a private plate, and I don't know, there are new cars which open up like this. I find it very embarrassing sitting in that, like wings opening out. Anyway, so you see a better car, then what happens? That same car which gave you pleasure till yesterday, ये भी कोई कार है, वो कार है. This is the, seesaw we go throughout in this material world. And anyway, even the happiness you got today, gradually it lessens. Kal aur kam, fir aur kam, fir aur kam, fir khatam. That is a reality. Law of diminishing returns, you can say. So everything in this world, all the happiness that we experience is temporary, it is limited, and it starts decreasing. Now, your next question. Okay, we have understood that we are not this physical body. I am a divine entity. I'm a part of the Supreme Being who is bliss. And what I desire is not material happiness. My internal being is seeking spiritual, divine happiness. That's why till today, nothing has satisfied me, no matter what I've achieved. Your next question will be, how do we attain or experience that happiness that you are talking about? Right? You would want to be curious about it, isn't it? The first thing we have to do is think, think. We must try and revise what we have heard, try to understand it, because it was all connected. You didn't have the answers. And I dug into the profound philosophy of our scriptures and gave it to you in very simple terms, common day to day words. So we have to try and understand that and accept it. With our own experience, we try to analyze our experiences and at the same time connect it to what you have heard. Thinking is very important. Remember that. A lot of young people, they ask me, what should we do? I said, think about life. We are not used to thinking. We just mechanically go into everything. So if we were to start thinking, then we will start searching. We will be seeking for the right things. A scientist named Robert Millikan, he was an American scientist and he was a winner of Nobel Prize. I remember reading what he wrote. He said, I have never known a thinking man to not believe in God. If a person really thinks that, just as I started, we have accidents every day on earth, but none up there. So we need to think. What is the power? What's moving everything? So he said that I've never known a thinking man to not believe. It's a natural byproduct of being a thinker. Then again, he said that it is unthinkable that a real atheist can be a scientist. He cannot. That's what he's trying to say. A German, this is connected to what I said just now, a German physicist who was the founder of quantum mechanics, his name was Werner Heisenberg. He said, the first gulp of the glass of material sciences is going to turn you into an atheist. But at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting for you. That means when you go deeper and deeper, you cannot help but come to this. Because all those renowned scientists, most of them, some of them are believers from before, but many of them became believers because they researched and went in deeply. Even the astronauts who went up to the moon, when they looked down on the earth and they saw how tiny, what a speck it was, just think, just as we see stars at night, how tiny they are. And when we live on this earth, wow, it's so big. No, it's not. And then they thought, where is America? We cannot even see it. They were from there. And we had such a big house. We thought it's the best one around in the whole area. Forget it. We cannot even see our city, forget our house, our dog, our car. So when we look at this earth and start thinking about our own lives, our experiences, we cannot help but accept this. And we start, when we have this knowledge, we reflect upon this knowledge, what is the next thing that will happen? It will develop faith. And faith will lead to love. Then we will start accepting that we have an eternal connection to that supreme being whom we are parts of. We belong to him. Most of you know that verse which we recite. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva. Thy Father which art in heaven. Every religion talks about that divine being, your mother, your father. We say these things, but now you will start internally feeling this relationship. Our relation to the world is one thing, but our internal, this relationship of the soul is to that divine being. And because we are separated from him, we do not accept our connection to him, That is why we are bound by our karma and we are revolving in the cycle of birth and death. Forgetfulness. Who am I? An important question. Very important. Know thyself. This is what Socrates said. So, who am I? Who is mine? I would like to tell you that my spiritual master, whom I had this very special grace, blessing of meeting and associating with right from the time I was 11 years old. I grew up into his wonderful spiritual teachings. What I have shared with you is only a drop in the ocean. But he has given the world this the essence of the scriptures in a very simplified form, a connected way, full of logic as well. And the more you listen to his teachings, you, without even knowing it, you will be already on that path towards home. This world is not our home. So life is a bridge. Cross over it. Do not build their own, isn't it? They're not supposed. We are going to be crossing. So the scriptures are telling us, Bhayam Ditiya Bhiniveshatasya Dishadapetasya Viparya Yos Smritihi 11 to 37. This is a verse Sri Maharaji always quotes. He says, I love this verse because it gives you the reason of suffering and also gives you the cure in one verse. So the reason for our suffering is, I'll put it into today's language, spiritual amnesia. Amnesia means forgetfulness. We've forgotten who we are. So therefore, we have obviously forgotten who we belong to. Bhool भुलैया जग गोविंद राधे जो भी आया आप अरु बाप को भुला रे अपने आप को भूल गए बाप कौन है सब जीवों का बाप वही है He's the first father and we are all second. So we've forgotten, and that's why Maharaji had to give lectures on this one subject. You'll be surprised to know he gave 103 lectures on Main Kaun Mera Kaun. Who am I and who is mine? So we are here to understand this whole purpose. I've fitted this whole jigsaw puzzle for you to be able to know why we are here and the importance of human life. So we can go through it a little bit to know what we are supposed to do through the beautiful compositions of Sri Maharaji. Hundreds and thousands of compositions and lectures he's given to uplift the world. It's amazing. It's amazing. And he happens to be the fifth original Jagat Guru of India. A Jagat Guru was accepted as a supreme authority by 500 topmost scholars of India. So therefore, we don't need any more evidence than that. You and me are just ordinary people in the world. How would we recognize such a personality? Because we don't have the knowledge. But 500 scholars who were eminent scholars of India, they heard him and they realized that this person is not an ordinary person. A person who's come to this world to bring about a spiritual renaissance, a revolution. So let us go through one of his beautiful compositions. Time is also running out. And after we go through it quickly, then we can have a small little question answer session if you have, because I know I've given you plenty of what you call condensed food. So if you have to digest and think about it, so you are welcome to ask questions. And this composition is on page number 35. I was introduced as Dr. Bhagishri Devi. So let me tell you, I'm not a medical doctor. Sometimes after question answers, I've had this problem, knee problem. So my PhD is in English literature. So talking about English literature, this particular composition begins with "O mind." So I think it was Julius Caesar, some friends, countrymen, lend me your ears, something like that. Right? It goes. So I'll say, lend me your mind. That's what we want on the spiritual side. It's the mind. Main thing is the mind. Remember that. Whatever we do in terms of spiritual practice, you may do it for 10 minutes, but try to involve the mind because the mind is the culprit of taking us in the cycle of birth and death. The mind is the doer of action. Like you're all sitting over here, and if you get distracted, you start looking outside. Who came in, who went out? You don't hear anything because it's the mind that is doer. So therefore, this particular composition starts with Are Man Sunoman. There are many compositions which say Sunoman. Now the ears listen, don't they? But Maharaj is saying, oh, mind listen, because ultimately it's the mind. The mind has to digest this and practically do the sadhana or discipline. Suradaru labhatan paya bhajana kara nishidina Nanda Kumar. I mentioned this, that this human form is rare even for the celestial gods to attain. So what do you do quickly? Because Sri Maharaji talked about Bhakti Yoga. There are so many paths that have been talked about in the scriptures, but Bhakti Yoga is the philosophy that takes you right to the end. The path that will take you there. And it's very simple. I remember the definition that Swami Vivekananda gave. What is Bhakti? Bhakti is love for the highest, and the lowest will fall away by itself. When you rise in love, here in the world we fall in love, and when it's bhakti, you have connected to the Supreme Being, then you rise in love. So Sri Krishna, you are free to worship any form of the divinity, but remember, God is only one. We, in a habit, when we are out of the country, we feel insecure, we are fearful, so we put all the gods in our small little altar. Ganesh is there and everybody is there, so we think that if one doesn't come to your help, the other will come. But no, one form and he will do everything. So when you worship one form, you meditate on one form, you connect with love to one form, he's all powerful. This departmentalization which is there has been made by us without understanding, and it confuses children in this country. Let me tell you one thing. So if you stick to one personality, and Bhagavad Gita is the most popular book of scripture over the world, it gives you a philosophy for day-to-day living as well, and also for spiritual connection. So Maharaj is saying worship Nanda Kumar, but as I said, you are free, but stick to one form of the divinity. And Lagatana Dama Chadama Yama Vasu. You don't need to spend anything. If you are chanting the name, have you spent any money for that? You don't need to even bathe, as Sri Maharaji says. Just get up in the morning and little children can say, good morning, Krishna. Please bless me that I'm able to do the right thing through the day. How simple it is. A connection. So therefore, you do not need to spend. If you want to do a yagya, you want to do a havan or do anything, you have to pay. You want to go for those four pilgrimage centers, you have to pay money. You want to go for the Kumbh Mela, again you spend money. But for this bhajan, the chanting of the name, you can be anywhere. No condition of time or place. और हरि व्यापक संसार एक रस प्रति परमाणु मझार. What an advantage. You don't have to go anywhere to seek him. He is all pervading personality. At the same time, he is formless and he has a form, because to connect with love, we have the form of the divinity, but he is there everywhere. You don't have to be specially at one place to remember him. He's always present. और तिनके नाम रूप गुण गावत का घटी जात. When I started, I said, please chant. We talk all the time, different things, positive, negative, everything. So why not chant the name? It is the power of Sri Krishna is in his name, or the power of Ram is in his name. And it has been experienced by devotees. So what do you lose? Do you lose anything by chanting? Which reminds me of the argument of Blaise Pascal, a French philosopher. It's called the bet and wager. He said, if you believe in God and he did not exist, do you lose anything? And if you do not believe and he exists, then what will happen? You're the loser. An all powerful and all protective personality is available, you lose. And if you believe and he exists, then you benefit. So Maharaji is saying, what do you lose if you chant his name? Do you lose anything? You repeat it. And it's a potensize word. It's a panacea for all ills. Jhuto jap tap yog jag vrat nema dharma achar. All these externals. The world is going into more and more physical forms of worship. I fast on this particular day. I do this japa. The mind is anywhere else. I've been asked to chant on the beads. The beads are in my hand, and the TV is going on. You're watching the news as well, and you pick up the phone and you start answering the phone. The mala is going on. See, God only is interested where your mind is. What you're doing with your hands and feet and all that is not concern of His. It's your mind. That's the main thing. So all this that we are doing externally, He's not bothered. He wants a fact and not an act from us. He's not interested in this act, external worship. He wants your eternal, internal connection. To hari binu sukh kripalu nahi sapane hu. Not even in a dream will you experience true happiness that you are seeking day and night, non-stop through countless lifetimes. The happiness which you have been seeking, you will never experience. You may keep coming back into this world unless and until you realize that He is bliss, and that unlimited, everlasting bliss which the soul desires will only come from Him. So, this is a gist of what I said in a way, and also a guideline of what we have to start doing. इहे सार संसार अरे माया इहे सार तन पाय भजन करो लभताना पाय भजन करो पाय भजन करो निशिदिन नंद कुमार हरे नाना लगत नदाम छदाम यावसु लगत नदाम सुमिरु श्याम करनार हरे नाना सुमिरु श्याम करनार हरे नाना सुमिरु श्याम करतार हरे नाना सुमिरु श्याम करतार हरे नाना हरि व्यापक संसार एक रत भक्ति परमान हरे नाना तिनकी नाम रूप गुण गावत तिनकी नाम रूप गुण गावत कागति जात तिहार हरे मन कागति जात तिहार हरे मन सुमेरु श्याम करतार हरे मन सुमेरु श्याम करतार हरे मन इह तार संसार हरे मन इह तार संसार हरे मन झूठ जप तप योग याग व्रत योग याग व्रत Neva Hari Venu Sukh Kripalu Nai Sapne Ho Hari Venu Nai Sapne Ho Hari Venu Sukh Kripalu नहीं सपने हो हरि विष्णु कृपालु नहीं सपने हो पछी पछी मारिया हजारे हरे माया पछी पछी मारिया सुमेरु श्याम सरकार हरे माया सुमेरु श्याम राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद राधे राधे श्रीमद सतगुरु सरकार की लाडली लाल की श्री वृंदावन धाम की भक्ति योग रसावता जगत गुरुतम श्री कृपालु महाप्रभु की जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे. Any of you want to ask anything concerning this subject, obviously, you're most welcome to do so. Don't hesitate, because as Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Pariprashnena Sevaya. It's very good to ask with a kind of curiosity to know, because when we know, we will be able to proceed in the right direction and practice the right kind of karma, having been blessed with this human life. As I said, you don't need to hesitate. We are all one family over here. And I can dig into the beautiful spiritual teachings of Jagat Guru to be able to satisfy your curiosity. If anybody wants to ask, you're welcome. Well, I'll be here for some time. If you want to come one to one, also, you're welcome to do so. I'll be here for a little time. But before we end this whole program, what we learn from this one composition, you will get an opportunity to be able to put it into practicality, because it so happened that I'm coming to Birmingham for the one of the most important occasions of what we celebrate in that is the birth of Sri Krishna, Janmashtami. So Janmashtami will be in Birmingham, and it is in Dudley Krishna Mandir. A lot of you are from here, from Birmingham. So it'd be lovely to see you over there. The program is for 5 days. So what we sang now, Tinnake Nama Rupa Guna Gavat, that's exactly what's going to happen over there. So we will enjoy those sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna and know about him. His birth, was it like us? He was born and he died. And why did he come to this world, this mess that we are in? He could have easily done what he was doing from his own divine abode. So we can know all those things during those 5 days. The lecture is for 5 days, from 22nd, and 26th happens to be a bank holiday, a perfect day for Sri Krishna to come. So everybody can easily join. The program is on that day, it will be up to midnight. So please come and attend. It's in your own city. And of course, we have people now, some people sitting over here, some of them are from London, some are from Preston. So wherever there is a desire for such a thing, distance is not important at all. So anybody can come and join. You can get the flyers. The flyers are here over the program. So you can take them. So you'll have the details about timing and the place and everything. बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, नंद के लाला की जय. we will be offering some food, which we will have after that as prasad. So this offering of bhog to the Lord, it's a beautiful composition on page number 13, and it cites various examples of how Sri Krishna accepts love. So where there is love, you have heard about the famous Leela of Lord Ram, that Shabari offered him those berries which she herself had eaten to check whether they were sweet. And he accepted them with so much love because he only is concerned about the love part of it, not what is being offered. And then there is the example, another example, when we are overwhelmed with love and all excited, then we are not aware of what we are doing. So we have the example of Vidurani when Sri Krishna visited her humble little house. She was so excited, she didn't know what to offer. So she had some bananas at home. So she peeled the banana, and instead of offering the actual banana, she offered the skin. And he accepted it. Does anybody love you so much in the world to accept a skin and say, oh, that was great, very delicious? But the Lord, He's always so, uh, you could say there is nothing but unconditional grace over there. All He needs is love from His children. We have loved everything and everybody in the world, but He is waiting for our love. He's love personified, but He wants love from His children in this world who are wandering around in forgetfulness of Him. So He's waiting for us. As the scientist said, at the bottom of the glass is God waiting for you. Sri Maharaji is full of humor. In the last line, he questions Krishna. Okay, I don't have that love. So won't you accept what I'm giving you? Because I've heard that you accepted the poison from Putana's breast. She came to feed him poison to kill him. He accepted that. So here I am. I don't want to kill you. I'm just offering you book with a little tiny little love I have. So please accept it. Page number 13.
Keep this one. This two. This. No worries. Whatever.
अब न और तरसाओ रसिया आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया लगाओ रसिया यद्यपि यह सच है नहीं तुम कहाँ यद्यपि यह सच है नहीं तुम कहाँ भूख प्यास लागत रसिया भूख प्यास लागत रसिया. This hunger and thirst is a part of this material body of ours. God is beyond this hunger and thirst. There is no hunger and thirst over there. But Sri Maharaji says, yet you are hungry. I know that. What did you do? You went and stole butter and buttermilk. Didn't you, of the gopis? So that means there was hunger, but he was not hungry for that buttermilk or butter. He was only accepting their love through that. So it is all binding of love, and that's why some of you probably don't know. But Sri Maharaji has made a beautiful, magnificent temple in Vrindavan. So you must see it when you go there next time. And he has named it Prem Mandir. Why? Because he wanted to tell the whole world that this is the one path that you will be able to reach that supreme being. He's only bound by your love. So he named such a huge, beautiful temple, not Radha Krishna temple, not Ram Mandir, he named it Prem. तदपि भाववश ब्रज छछिया लगे चोरी करत चुरो रसिया तदपि भाववश ब्रज छछिया लगे चोरी करत चुरो रसिया रघुनाथ कर साओ रसिया आओ 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 भोग लगाओ रसिया आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया भाव भरा केले का छिलका भाव भरा केले का छिलका विदुरानी घर खायो रसिया विदुरानी घर खायो रसिया ओ भावनी नदियो धन रंजन नहीं सुख मन भायो रसिया भावनी नदियो धन रंजन नहीं सुख मन भायो रसिया जो रस शब्द के झूठे मुख मेर खाय पायो रसिया जनकपुरी के राजभोग सोरस नहीं पायो रसिया अब न और कर खाओ रसिया आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया अब न और कर खाओ रसिया आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया मानत भावहीना मानत भावहीना पैसन खरी खरी रसिया पैसन खरी खरी रसिया तत कृपालु पे टूट नहीं या के अब आ जाओ रसिया कृपालु या के अब आ जाओ रसिया माया के अब आ जाओ रसिया या के अब आ जाओ रसिया आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया ओ रसिया मेरे मन बसिया रसिया मेरे मन बसिया रसिया ओ रसिया मेरे मन बसिया रसिया ओ रसिया मेरे मन बसिया जय हो जय हो जय हो जय हो जय हो जय हो जय तेरी महिमा परंपार जय हो तेरी महिमा परंपार हो जय शक्ति करे Sadguru Paratala Sadguru Paratala Ladari Lal Ki Jai Srimad Sadguru Satsang Ki Jai. Before we do the Aarti, a few words about the very special soul who departed from this world. There's no doubt that she was a very, very special soul. The very fact that at her departure, soul is eternal. So obviously, she is in peace and at the best place because of her special words. And to have children, special children like this, that is undoubtedly an evidence of the soul could bring up children like this. And here we are chanting the name of the Lord and diving into the scriptures and attaining the special knowledge on this particular occasion. So she is special. Yes, we will pray that there are more such souls in the world. And of course, there is a feeling of emptiness, although they are eternal, but their physical presence also is of great, great assurance and an inspiration to others in this material world. We have the Radha Krishna Aarti, which is on page number 7, and Jagat Guru Aarti is on page number 6. So we'll begin with the Radha Krishna Aarti first. And after this session gets over, I've got small little books which are called Always Remember, which contain some gems of beautiful philosophy. You just go through any page and you will be motivated, you'll be inspired by those words. So you can take this small little gift back with you, and along with the flyer for Janmashtami, please come up to me and you can take it after the Aarti. अमरती प्रीतम प्यारी बनवारी नवारी आरती प्रीतम प्यारी बनवारी नवारी तुम सिर कनक मुकुट जलके तुम श्रुति कुंडल बदलके तुम मृग प्रेमक साचलके लसीले 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 Jayati Jagataguru Siddharati Aurile Arti Ranjitavarati Aurile Arti Ranjitavarati Guru Madanandani Nandakakar Jakirula Pati Jakir Mohammadana Jakir Madnatya Mahatkarvar Jakir Ure Maya Murya Ave Bhakti 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 Gauri Arti Ranjitavarati Gauri Arti Ranjitavarati श्रीमद सतगुरु सरकार की लाडली लाल की जय प्यारी प्यारी अम्मा की श्री कृपालु धाम की जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय बोले भक्ति योग रसाता जगत गुरुतम श्री कृपालु महाप्रभु की जय।